This is the first session of Outlook add-in component training. And before we create the Outlook add-in, we first need to create a couple of customer service views. So that's what we're going to do first. So let's get started. I've created a new project called Outlook add-in component training. So I'm going to start with a grid. And we're going to call this Lesson 1.1 Outlook Customer Service Orders. Creating Outlook views. We don't need anything as an icon because this is going to go into the Outlook views and they don't have icons. So we're going to start here with OE word header. Just select that table. This is very simple. Now the only thing that you need to do that's unique to Outlook views is they have to be pointing to a customer number. And it's a little particular, and that's defined as an @ variable. So it would look like I need to put a where statement here. Get ahead of myself. So that's just a direct select from the OE word header where the customer no equals @custno. And we're going to select that as a filter. We've done this many times before. We're going to go ahead. Now this filter is going to be called as a passing filter. So I really don't need to do all this, but I want to be able to run it by itself and validate it so later I don't have to be concerned with that aspect of the views once I get inside Outlook. So we're going to add a button. Now this is going to get into a little more advanced ideas. I'm going to launch Agility Explorer. I've talked about this, about reusing views. That's what we're going to do here. And I said the best way to find some of those views, because what I really want is an order drill down view. I have this list of orders, but once I find an order, I'd like to look at the order. So I'm going to go into the inventory master list. And I need to find a master order view that I can reuse. Well, I know that I always have items in my bike database with open orders, so I'll just select this one. And this is a list of orders for that item, but I know that each one of these is going to drill into an order all by itself. And here's an order, and it's OE order dialog. That's the name of it. So now I can just come over here, and on this button, I want to drill into the order. Now I'm going to do something else here that I've never done before. I'm going to put the toolbar at the top. And I'm doing that because the toolbars look better in Outlook at the top, I believe. It's a preference. And I'm just going to select a card icon for that so you can actually see which icon it's selecting. So I put an icon on it, makes it look a little nicer. It's just again a preference thing. You don't need to do that. And again, we're looking for OE order dialog. OE order. Okay, so we're going to take this. Now the proof. Is this really going to work? Well, you're going to know it's going to work if the passing values match what you have in your view. If I had picked the wrong one and the values didn't work, then I'd made a mistake. So you have to make some assumptions, but these are pretty educated assumptions. Now I want to add another view. I'd like to add a something on the customer himself. It'd be really cool if I get back over here and get out here and here. If we went to financial and went to aging, and if I drill into aging, it's going to bring up a customer card with a graph of aging. Pretty good assumption that that got passed on just a customer number. Well, I know I have a customer number. And it would be nice if I'm going to do something for customer service to do that. Now I'm going to do something else that's pretty new. I'm going to look for icons. Now the best icons to use are 16 by 16s. I just happen to have some. And everybody has their own preference for icons. But I'm going to go look for an icon that I can use, and really the only one I could find is this portrait, and we'll try that one. It's a little portrait of a person. If I had a bigger library, I'd look for something maybe a little better. And going back over here, this is the AR aging graph by Cusno. It's a pretty clear indication of what the calling parameters are. So AR aging graph, and there it is. So we'll just take it. Later on when I run this, I think you'll see how just doing a couple things like this, and obviously there's the Cusno, which we certainly have one of those on an order. So now we've got an order drill down, a customer drill down. It's going to be at the top button. They're going to have icons, something a little different than we've done before. Something interesting. So I'll run this. It's going to look for a customer. Later on that'll be a linked value. But I set it up this way so I can just look up a customer. Like any view, we're going to clean it up. And the order and customer are at the top, bottom. Why is that? And I didn't save the cleanup. So let's go back in again. Maybe I didn't save the buttons correctly. Oh, I didn't. I didn't reset both of those at the top. I pointed at it, but I didn't select it. That's okay. It shows you how this works, and you'll see the difference now. I just didn't save. One of them got saved at the bottom. Try one more time. Toolbar top, toolbar top. But you know while I'm at, I'm going to make the order a double click too. Preview that. Now they're both at the top. Be more careful next time. Clean that up. And we'll save that. And we can either double click and launch that order. Now we've used this ourselves. Or I can click it here. Or I can bring up the customer screen. Now all of a sudden, these are views I can use. And by the way, from the customer view, I can see aging, and I can still drill into the invoice, which we're going to drill into later from another view. So just, there's a lot of, I've inherited all this drill around capability just by taking that component. Let's do another grid. We're going to call this lesson 1.2 Outlook Customer Service. let's see what we call this, customer service order history. Creating Outlook views. Again, no icon needed. Nothing changed here. So now we're just going to take the header hist, where again, custno equals at custno. Pretty simple. I'm going to run it. We're going to do all of the same stuff all over again. Make sure this is a customer number. Select the right one. Customer. Same search. Here. Dash gets me to the searches. And that's really all we need here. Then we're going to add a button. I want to make sure I save these. Make sure they get saved correctly. This is what we're going to call this invoice. Again, we're just going to make this a card as a view. Then we're going to come over to agility. And we already know this is the AR aging graph, which we'll pick up again. Go back to inventory. And we'll look at order history. And we find that this one's called OE order hist dialog. So we'll come over here. OE order hist dialog. The link is the invoice number. Add a button. Customer. Same lookup. Same photo portrait. Make sure it came in okay. Same one. Just wanted to have it no matter where I was, just a matter of convenience to customer service that we'll show later. It's just design work. Link bar to tool bar at the top. Make sure it's saved. Do a preview. This time I got it right the first time. Do a lookup on that. Clean it up. Save it. Make sure one more time that I save it. And that completes the first lesson. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video tutorial, and I encourage you to move on to the next video tutorial in this series.